Have you ever wondered what your neighborhood looked like hundreds of years ago? If you live here in Los Angeles County, you would see a lot more of these: acorns and oak trees. Thousands of oak trees covered the landscape, making them one of the area's most abundant natural resources. The first people to live in what we now call Los Angeles County discovered safe and tasty ways to prepare acorns as food. They also found ways to take care of both oak trees and acorns in order to ensure that this important resource remained available. Learning the traditions and the history of an area can have a positive impact on a land and its people today. Indigenous peoples are the first people to live in any given place. Peoples that lived and continue to live in what is now Los Angeles County are the Chumash, Tataviam, and Tongva nations. These tribes continue their cultural traditions today. Thousands of years ago, Indigenous ancestors realized that fire was important to help oak grow healthier acorns. Fire has always been a part of life here in Los Angeles County, and although it can do a lot of damage, fire has many benefits for an ecosystem. The Indigenous ancestors made some very important observations about the relationship between fires and oaks. They noticed that mature oak trees were adapted to survive a small or medium-sized fire. Small fires burned up dry or unhealthy plants, giving strong plants the space and light to grow larger. Fire and smoke also would get rid of parasites that could harm the trees, as well as certain insects that burrow into acorns and feed on the nut, making them less nutritious, but also preventing that acorn from ever being able to grow into a new tree. With extreme caution and expert knowledge from their observation, the Chumash, Tataviam, and Tongva ancestors were able to use fire as a tool to help care for the oak trees. Their expert knowledge was so specific that they were able to calculate the way that fires would burn. They've passed this information down to their descendants, and this is called traditional ecological knowledge. This type of knowledge centers around the relationship between people and nature. So if this method was working so well for thousands of years, why is it stopped? The Indigenous ancestors never planned to stop cultural burns. Instead, they were forced to. When the Spanish invaded California in the 1700s, they forced them to stop practicing their cultural traditions. The Spanish also brought new plants with them, and these plants grew a lot faster than native ones. They began to take over. Settlers to this place continued to transform the landscape into the Los Angeles County that we know today. These drastic changes to the landscape, as well as the fact that traditional land management practices were forced to stop, are part of the reason that California's natural wildfires have gotten out of control. There has always been a wildfire season, but this season is longer than ever before, and the fires are less and less predictable. In some parts of the state, local governments have gone to tribal leaders and asked if they would share their knowledge. And in the parts of the state where this collaboration between local governments and local tribal nations is happening, things are starting to get better. Thousands of years, traditional ecological knowledge has had a positive impact on the environment. And if traditional caretaking of land were to be more present today, we would see those positive impacts again.
Subscribe to our channel for more videos or visit our website at nhm.org to keep exploring.